I'm not sure that title card actually captures the significance of that event. That was supposed to be lava in the letters of Day of the Lord. And see the wrong there? The wrong is supposed to look like it's exploding. And I don't think I...
Ma'am, I make better picture.
Oh, really?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, this is my new text-to-speech assistant. And why don't you introduce yourself before we...
Yes, ma'am. My name is Debbie.
Now, I was able to hire Debbie at a very good rate because the company that made her kind of rushed her out the door like a pharmaceutical company might do with a wonder drug, not quite give it the testing. She can speak flawless Spanish, but she wasn't really given the kind of schooling necessary to speak English.
Debbie, big loser.
Oh, no, Debbie, no, I don't want you to talk like that. Ever, I don't want to hear that ever again. You're anything but a loser. You speak 1.5 languages. I speak 3/4 of one, so you're way ahead of me. No, we're glad to have you, Debbie. We really are. And now you mentioned that you could maybe do the title card?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you don't have to call me sir, but it's sir, not ma'am. But you don't have to call me sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll work on that. Just a couple things. She has trouble with D words, and that's okay. We're all learning. We're all learning. So why don't you make the? Do you know Photoshop?
No.
GIMP 2.0?
No.
Microsoft Paint?
Yes. Wait. No.
What were you planning? What are you going to use to make the title card?
Crayon and paper.
Crayon and paper. Okay. It's old school, but I like it. Debbie, why don't you go do that and let me know when it's done. Now,
yes, ma'am.
If you're just coming to this channel for the first time, let me stress something to you, okay? We do not mix theology and humor on this channel. We do not. Because it was the Lord himself who told us this: be not of good cheer. Now, a lot of translations don't use the word not in their well, all translations don't use the word not, but I think not was supposed to be there, okay? And remember, he also told us this. Now, some translations use joy instead of seriousness. Well, okay, all translations do, but I do not believe that our Lord walked around joyful, cheerful, being in good humor. I don't believe that. We Christians are called to be dead serious, borderline mean. That's how we want the world to see us. Deadly serious, borderline mean. That's why I'm wearing this unironed white dress shirt, to add to that serious nature. That's why I'm holding the pen. Holding a pen makes you automatically a little more serious, okay? Now, I am a little concerned. After the presentation on the Day of the Lord is over, I'm expecting a phone call from Dave Dupree. Will you let me know when that call comes in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just tell me to hang on if I'm still in my presentation.
Unless I'm on break.
Now, I don't trust characters. He may attempt humor. So I'm going to put a countdown clock in that corner down there that will tell you how much time is left before possible humor comes on. And that way you can get out of here without being contaminated by it. So watch for the countdown timer and get out while the getting is good, okay? Now, a lot of people get the Day of the Lord wrong. You can tell they have no clue of what's going on in the book of Revelation. And I'm not mocking them or chiding them because I was one of them. Or up until April of this year, I was one of them. Here's how you can tell if they don't have a clue about what's going on in the book of Revelation. They'll say this: the day of the Lord will go on and last for years. I used to say that. Common sense should tell you, no, it doesn't go on for years. Now the reason they say that, the reason they get to that place is because they don't understand what's going on, and I didn't either. Let me show you why they say that. And this will be a clue, because if they say that, they can't help you. They might get a couple of things right, but at some point they're going to really mislead you because they're completely off on the foundational truths of the book of Revelation. It all begins at the sixth seal for them. So they get to the sixth seal and they rightly see that the day of the Lord has begun. The sun is not giving its light and the moon is doing its thing, just like Peter said over in Acts would take place before the day of the Lord. Plus, in the sixth seal, we hear the people who are hiding in caves announce it. They actually say it's the day of wrath, the day of the Lamb has come, and who is able to stand? So, and by the way, have you ever thought, why do they say that? How do they know? Well, I have an interesting theory on that. I'll drop on you a little bit later. It will not be humorous, I can assure you of that. But here's their problem. They say, okay, the day of the Lord has started at the sixth seal, but we're probably not even at the halfway point yet. So the day of the Lord is going to bring about the end of everything. And if it's starting at the sixth seal, it must last for years. Now, again, common sense should interrupt that thought, because what they would be saying is, oh, the day of the Lord starts off real bad. It's got everybody hiding in caves. It's got stars falling from heaven. It's got an earthquake that's moved every mountain and island out of its place. Imagine what it's going to do to every man-made structure all over the world. Starts off bad. But then, okay, the day of the Lord kind of recedes a little bit. They crawl out of the caves. They build back better. Okay, they get merchandising up and running again. They're buying and selling with the mark of the beast and all of that. And then it gets bad. The day of the Lord comes back, gets bad here and there, and then it finally finishes them. That is not what the day of the Lord is about. It doesn't go on for years. But I knew that what we were looking at in the sixth seal was the last day of planet Earth. You can't survive that. But I had a problem. And my problem was an obstacle called the 144,000. Because remember, after we see the sixth seal, the seventh chapter, after there's a celebration in heaven, the seventh chapter begins, and we're told this. After these things, then an angel comes down and they seal the 144,000. After what things? After the events of the sixth seal. So this was a gigantic obstacle to me, because I was seeing that the sixth seal is going to be the last day of planet Earth. But how can I say that when after it's over, an angel comes down and seals 144,000, and then they show up again in the seventh seal doing their thing? If Earth is gone on the sixth seal day, how do people get sealed and go about it? So I was like, I know the sixth seal is the end, but the 144,000 causing me a lot of problems before I can even get to the seventh seal and try to get it out of the way, so to speak. So I was praying about this for weeks, and some of you may have heard this story. I'm going to tell you something that I don't think I've told you before that you may find fascinating. I hope you do, because it's true, and it certainly was one of the most important days of my life. April 14th, after being in prayer off and on for weeks about this thing, because I couldn't come up with an answer. I wake up at 3 a.m. I start thinking about Revelation again, get my tablet out, go to Book of Revelation, try to figure something out. Nothing. Just as I'm about to turn the tablet off and go back to sleep, I get a thought. And the thought, strange one, it was a forceful thought, but in my head it sounded like any other thought. And the thought was this: re-examine the opening words of chapter 7. And that thought came to me, and I thought, well, why would I think that? It made it seem like a part of me knew something that the other part of me, why would I school myself and say, re-examine the opening words of chapter 7? I didn't understand that. Now, if you don't believe in God, now I know you do, because you wouldn't be here, I think, unless you did, but those who don't believe in God at that point would say, oh, that was your subconscious. It knew, and it was telling you. Now look, I've been around my subconscious my whole life. It's not that smart, okay? It's misled me on more than one occasion. I'm telling you, it's not. What is it? I think I hear it right now. Hey, here's an idea for dinner. A gallon of ice cream and a six-pack. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah. Yeah, I'll give that some thought. My subconscious is an idiot. It can't decode the book of Revelation. Of course, somehow God put that thought in there because those were the exact words I needed to see the truth. And so I started looking at them. After these things. After these things. That's what's causing me a problem. After the events of the sixth seal, these events happen. And so I looked at them and I thought, okay, let's look at them in the Greek, dictionary. And there are two words, meta, tauta, after this or after these things. Okay, there's no way around it. I was hoping there might be some other kind of meaning those words could convey that would help me, but nope, they are what they are. So then I Googled those words, meta, tauta, and I ran across a paper written by a pastor who wrote on those exact same words because he was more interested in meta tauta that begins chapter 4 of Revelation. And here was his point. He points out that John uses those two words throughout the book of Revelation, but they're also used by Old Testament prophets, the Hebrew form of meta tauta, after these things, because they're getting visions one after the other. And he said what I needed to hear. He said, they are not, by using those words, putting events in chronological order for us. They're as confused as we were the first time we read the book of Revelation. They're just recording visions coming one right after the other. And the after this is to let us know the vision I was just showing you stopped. This is a new vision now. And now another vision. After this vision, I saw this. And then he records that. And after he sees that, he says, after that, I see this. That's what he's trying to tell us. One vision ended, another began. We've got to get the visions out, down, spread out on the table, and try to put them together. Sometimes they might be in order, sometimes they might not. But the 144,000 do not have to be sealed after the sixth seal, because now I understand what's going on, but I still have to prove it. So I went back into chapter 7, and there it was. The angel says the 144,000 have to be sealed before the earth, the sea, or the trees are harmed. The earth, the sea, and the trees just got decimated at the sixth seal. So the 144,000 have to be sealed sometime before the sixth seal even opens. That has to be the case. The angel's telling us. Now, there's a real good reason why the 144,000 are mentioned here, which we'll cover at another time. But for my purposes, on April 14th at 4 a.m., the 144,000 suddenly were no longer a problem. The problem now was, what do I do with the seventh seal? Well, all I had to do was read it through, and it answered itself for me. The angel before the seventh trumpet says, I swear by him who created everything, that when that trumpet blows, it's over. All we have to do is believe him. And then you see, it is over. There's a celebration in heaven. By the way, there's also an earthquake, same earthquake in the sixth seal. They have the same kind of celebration. Same thing happens at the seventh bowl of wrath. There is mountains and islands moving around, an earthquake, and then eventually celebration in heaven. That's what's going on. It ends at the sixth seal. It ends at the seventh trumpet. It ends at the seventh bowl. Those are all looks at the day of the Lord. Have you ever been reading Revelation? I know you have. This has happened to me. Used to happen to me all the time. I'm reading Revelation and something, big is happening. And then all of a sudden it's like, what just happened? Because what comes next doesn't even closely resemble what I was just reading. It's like, did we jump in time or place? What happened? What happened was, it was a reset. We had come to the end of the event line that was showing us the day of the Lord, and it was starting over and having to go back years in time to begin that event line, which also leads up to the day of the Lord. And then it starts over. If you read it wrongly, it's going to look like, well, what just happened? What just happened was that event line started over. Had a brilliant comment this last week on one of my videos. I believe her name was Rosa. If I got that wrong, I'll put the correction up on a slide here when I'm editing. But Rosa said, after looking at one of my videos, aren't the Gospels 4 different views of the same timeline? What a brilliant analogy. That's exactly right. They all have their look at the incredible lifetime of our Lord Jesus Christ. 4 views, the same timeline. That's what's going on in the book of Revelation. 3 views of the day of the Lord, the events that lead up to the day of the Lord. Look, folks, Old Testament prophets have been predicting the day of the Lord thousands of years ago. It's a huge event. That's what people are doing wrong. They can't see that. They see the day of the Lord beginning in the 6th seal, and they assume then it must go on for another 15 chapters because they don't understand what the book of Revelation and its brilliance is showing us.
Picture ready, ma'am.
Oh, you have your title card ready? We'll throw it up. We'll see what you... Oh, well, that's
Pretty picture.
day of
Lord.
Lord, you die.
And happy face.
And a happy face. That's real good, Debbie. That's real good. Let's put that up on the refrigerator door, okay? So I want everybody to see that, okay? That was real good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Bit troubling there. Bit troubling. All right. The last thing I want to do is I want you to look at what Peter says in 2 Peter about the day of the Lord. That's what's going to happen. One day, the elements melt away. Doesn't take years. Melts away. We see it in the 6th seal. We see it at the 7th bowl of wrath, and it's implied at the 7th trumpet. That's why after the marriage supper of the Lamb, we see the New Jerusalem, the bride of Christ. Why is it called the bride of Christ? Because we're in it, and it's coming down out of heaven because we're going to reign on earth with him for 1,000 years. But we come to a new heaven and a new earth because the old heaven and the old earth has passed away, and it happens at the day of the Lord. Now, going back to the 6th seal, how do those people know it's the Lamb? They seem theologically bright, don't they? They figured out, oh my goodness, it's the Lamb of God, it's the Son of God. My guess is because they've had an earful for a number of years from the 2 witnesses and maybe the 144,000 who have been predicting that, and they've been laughing it off, and they can't believe it. It has caught them unprepared and not ready for the coming King of Kings and Lord of Lords. That's what...
Mr. Dave Dupree is on the phone, ma'am.
Uh-oh, Dave's on the... Okay, start the timer, folks. You got to get out of here. Folks, get out of here. Save yourself. Don't worry about me. I'll be okay. Save yourself. Get out of here. Whoa. Okay, if you're still here, this is on you. Now, hopefully that was just a false alarm and there won't be any comedy. Hello, Dave. Thanks for getting back to me.
My pleasure, Stan. What's up?
Nothing. I just wanted to check in on you, see how you and your new wife, Tammy, are.
Bad news, Stan.
Oh?
Tammy left me.
Wow. How strange for a trophy wife to be unfaithful. That's almost unheard of, Dave. What happened?
She went chasing after that Commander Shepard.
Oh.
That's okay. I'm going to bring in someone else.
Well, that is your gift. You can bring back any character ever created in history, so a lot to choose from.
I want someone more complex. Someone who has that certain... je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi, yes, of course. So who you bringing in, Dave?
Wonder Woman.
Of course you are.
I was considering Batgirl, but that was a little too Jeffrey Epstein.
Plus, I think Batgirl would be vaccine hesitant, so good call on Wonder Woman, Dave. Good call.
There she is now.
Oh, we'll open the door.
It's so great to finally meet. Hey, you're not Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman have accident. I am the Debbie.
Debbie? What's Debbie doing in your scene, Dave?
She must be a scene shifter, Stan.
Is that bad?
They're only the most dangerous characters in the world.
Wow.
You've just unleashed hell on House Dupree.
Wow, that was so melodramatic, I got a chill. I really did, yeah.
What do you want from me, you horrid scene shifter?
Okay, enough with the music, Sting. Stick to the script.
I want to be Mrs. Dave Dupree.
You want to marry me?
Okay, I was wrong. Do that line again.
You want to marry me?
That's better, yeah.
Here's your wedding invitation.
Yeah, Debbie's an artist, Dave.
Marry me or die?
With happy face.
With happy face.
Just tell her, no, you're not going to do it.
I can't, Stan. Scene shifters are crazy, but powerful.
Oh, kind of like Democrats?
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, Debbie, I'm ready.
Let's go, Brandon.
It's Dave, sweetheart.
Okay, well, good news, false alarm. See you next time.
So, did you think about the ice cream for dinner thing we were talking about earlier?
Oh, shut up.
Okay, all right.